It's Shay, Renee, and friends. Real people dealing with real issues, talking about real life.
Hi, guys, and welcome to Shay, Renee, and friends. I am live tonight, broadcasting out of Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm excited. We've got a great lineup of shows for you this month, so you do not want to miss a show. You want to stay tuned in. I want to remind you guys and make a couple of announcements. Now, tonight's topic is the conspiracy of credit, okay? So the number to call is 917-889-8224, and the chat room is open. Thank you guys for tuning in. I love you guys. You're faithful every week. I can count on you guys. So call in with your questions concerning credit, okay? We've got a credit expert here. The number to call again is 917-889-8224. Now, my pet peeve for the week. My pet peeve for the week is, mosquitoes. Guys, I can't sit outside. We've had cool temperature. It's football time, and mosquitoes are still out. Why are mosquitoes still out and it's cool outside? We can enjoy it. I was sitting at Starbucks the other day, and the mosquitoes ate me up. And the crazy thing is I didn't even realize how bad they bit me up until the next day. And so mosquitoes are off the chain for real. And it's too late, I think, for the mosquitoes to be so bad. So that's my pet peeve for the week. I've been eaten up by mosquitoes. So, guys, if you guys have a pet peeve, email me at shayrenee5387@gmail.com. And visit my website, shayreneesfloetry.com, or you can leave a comment on the show. And make sure you follow it because you don't want to miss an episode of what's going on with Shay Renee and friends. Now, guys, I want to formally introduce my guest. He travels the world giving lectures and educating on credit and the conspiracy of credit. So, guys, I would like for you to welcome my friend, Corey T. Smith.
Hello, Shay.
Hi, hello, Corey. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain. Hello to everyone that's taking the time out to listen.
Yes. So I know you got some good information for us tonight.
Man, I have
Tell
some
us a
great
little bit about
information.
you. Tell us a little bit about you.
A little bit about me. I'm married. Been married for 10 years. Kids. I'm a native of Memphis. Graduate of Tennessee State University. A member of Kappa Alpha Psi. Love to travel. Love to read. And love to educate people on how to leverage debt. Love credit, love talking about credit, love dissecting credit, love exposing the credit bureaus. Like, that's my passion.
So, yeah. Now, how did you get involved with this, exposing the credit bureaus and stuff? I mean, did you experience something? Is that what got you involved in it, or somebody in your family experienced it? How did you develop that passion and know, okay, this is what I'm called to do?
You know what? I found myself. This is true story. Me and my wife. Now, at the time, she was my girlfriend, but we went through a really rough patch. Like during the early years, I may have been 26, 27 years old, had a newborn baby, which is my oldest daughter now. But we found ourselves living in an apartment with no lights, sleeping on the floor, with no cash, and I was going to work every day at the time, but it was like living from paycheck to paycheck, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and I woke her up because I couldn't sleep, and I told her, I said, the only way that I feel like I'm going to be able to solve this problem that we have now is to fix our name. And, our name is credit. That's what we have to live by. So what we did, we ended up letting the apartment go, and we actually moved in with my wife's grandmother. And she was kind of reluctant, but I made her promise to give me 24 months, and I would give her the world. And I kept my promise. But during that time, my job every day was figuring out how the credit bureaus worked, figuring out new ways to remove things off of my credit, because I had filed bankruptcy, I had collections, I had student loans. So over time, with me trying different things, on the phone with different people that work for the credit bureaus, I started to figure out different loopholes and figuring out tricks that they were using, that they use every day to keep people in bondage, and people don't even realize it. So that's how that came about. And the more and more that I researched the credit bureaus, the more and more my credit began to change, the more excited I became about it. The more, I got entrenched and almost obsessed with, like, removing things off of my credit report. So, I mean, for the last 14 years, that's been my thing, So that's how that came about. That's how I got involved with credit.
Wow. So that's just amazing to know, because and I always want to know how people found that passion, and so it kind of makes you more relatable. Instead of just saying, oh, well, he's an expert. It makes you more relatable to our listeners. And so, listeners, you've just heard that he's been where you may be right now, and so with these principles and this knowledge, now he travels the world and he's reached that level of success that we all want to accomplish. And so I want to thank you again for being here and educating our listeners and myself too.
Right.
I'm interested in knowing about the conspiracy of credit. Guys, the number to call in now. Ask your questions. We got an expert on the line, 917-889-8224, or chat in your questions, okay? I see you guys logged into the chat room. So chat in your questions, okay? We've got an expert, so we might as well pick his brain tonight. Now, one question I want to ask you is, why should you never pay a collection agency?
You know what? There's people are tricked every day into paying off collection agencies, thinking that it's going to improve their credit, thinking that they're doing the right thing. But in actuality, you're not doing the right thing. You're not going to improve your credit by paying a collection agency off. One of the reasons why you should never pay a collection agency is because, one, they're not the original creditor. And I know some people probably heard that before. But how this whole cycle works, when it gets to the collection agency, what they have actually done is bought paper, or they have bought what's called a screenshot. First of all, when you have a credit card debt, let's say with Chase Bank, and they charge that debt off. They charge it off. What they have to do is file a 1099 with the IRS. And when they file that 1099 with the IRS, it becomes a write-off, but it becomes a taxable income to you, whether the IRS ever seeks for you to pay taxes on it or not. By them doing that, by law, that then becomes an uncollectible debt. Like, they can't collect on it anymore. But what a lot of the creditors do, they end up selling it to a collection agency. They sell the paper for maybe 6 cents on the dollar. So they violated. They have violated right there. So most people don't realize when they get a letter from a collection agency or they get a call from a collection agency, the first thing that they need to do is send the collection agency what's called a general affidavit of denial. And I know a lot of people have probably never even heard of that. And that's one of the reasons. Yeah, it's like a one-sheet sworn statement basically saying that you're not responsible for the debt, and what you're asking them for is proof that they are just more than a factoring company. They are the true holder of the debt, which they can't provide. And a lot of times what they'll do, they'll just actually send you a screenshot of the debt saying like almost like a bill. But that's not good enough. Like that doesn't suffice what you're asking for. So but by you sending them an affidavit, now you have something to stand on just in case you have to go to court or if they try to take you to court. Because the affidavit is a statement of fact. And sometimes they may try to respond with what's called an affidavit of destroyed instrument. And basically what they're saying is, we don't have the contract that you originally signed with the original creditor, but it's your debt, so you got to pay it. And that doesn't hold water.
In like court. It
Right.
it didn't stand up in court. So it's not
Right.
That is something, because I mean, you know how people don't even want to answer their phone because of a collection agency. And so that's something right there. That's like has blown my mind, because they don't have the information. They don't have the contract. And usually companies, usually they write them off. So they actually get their money.
You know what? A lot of people, it just has not happened to a lot of people, but it has happened to some people. Like, a lot of people don't realize, like, you never want to settle a credit card debt. Like, if the credit card company contact you and they was like, they say to you, we'll settle this debt. You owe $1,500, but we'll settle it for $500. The reason you don't want to do that, and this is another law, you can look it up, you don't have to trust me. Anytime you settle a credit card debt for $600 less than what you owe, by law, like I said before, the credit card company has to report that to the IRS. The IRS will then 1099 you, because that becomes taxable income. So it's like the credit bureaus have gave you money. So people just, they fall for these tricks because they're not educated. They're not educated on the rules of the game, so to speak. So they basically get over on you via fear.
Wow. And I mean, and the thing about it is, they do. They plan in fear, and it's like people are like, okay, well, I need to go ahead and pay my bill, or they going to take it out of my check or something like that. I mean, so that is that's some information right there. Wow. And so that's why they volunteer to give you a lesser payoff.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to take anybody that's listening, you don't have to take my word for it. It's the law. You can look up anything that I'm telling you. You never want to settle a credit card debt for $600 less than what you owe. The only way that you do that is that they need to send you some paperwork saying, hey, we'll take it off your credit. That's the only way that it's going to benefit you, because basically what you're doing, you're putting yourself in jeopardy to be taxed, number one. Number two, you're still not going to improve your credit, and you've just given away money that could be useful to you for you to live your life.
Wow. Wow. So then if they send you, okay, so if they send you, or if they send you a letter saying that they'll remove it from your credit, and you're saying, okay, go do this. But if they don't, then you're saying, no, don't do it, because it's not going to help.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the first time that you get a blemish on your credit. I don't care what anybody tells you, whether it be a Susan Orman or a Dave Ramsey. You paying off a credit card debt when you 180 days late, you 120 days late. It's not going to improve your credit. Don't let them fool you. You can pay it off, but it's just going to show that you paid it off, and you still going to have a screwed up credit score. The only way that it's going to help. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm thinking about, they do consolidation loans to get you out of the credit card debt. Credit card debt is taking over people.
Yeah, but I
So
mean, that's by design, though, Shay. That's by design. Like, you just don't fall into debt by mistake. Like in the book, I talk about everything is done by algorithms, and for people who go see these movies that Hollywood put out, they tell you certain things in the movie, like a movie like Captain America. They talk about algorithms. So they know at some point you're going to screw up, and you don't know how to combat that. So it's not done just by mistake. Like, it's done, it's by design that at some point, I don't care who you are, you're going to mess up. You're going to mess up.
I mean, yeah, because celebrities do it all the time. They mess up. Chris Tucker owes $14 million, they say, in taxes.
But and you know, the advantage that celebrities have, and this is like one of my cliches, the difference is credit is for poor people. A lot of times celebrities, they have liquid cash, or they have some type of IRAs or something that they can liquidate. So they don't have to live in this web of credit. I mean, think about it. If you had $3 million in the bank, would you care about your credit score being? Yeah, you wouldn't care. Yeah. Why? Why do you need it?
Yes.
So, I mean, that's the advantage that celebrities have. But yes, they do fall into that trap, and I know this firsthand. So they're not immune to it.
Wow. So credit is for the poor, and then wow. And so, okay, let me ask you this question. Why do they keep raising the credit score?
Well, I mean, they have gone back. It used to be like
600, now it's 700, and I think it's like 800 now.
Yeah, it ranges from 350 to 850. But I mean, that's nothing more than like any other business. I mean, it's a business. It's almost like if you work for a corporation and let's say an HR department, they come in and implement change. And then you have to understand that the credit rating for the United States was threatened at one point. So I mean, it could be a lot of different reasons. But I mean, above all of that, it doesn't matter when you're talking about people who are in need of finances and they have to try to survive off of their credit. And when they screw up, it puts them at a disadvantage where they can't buy a home, or they can't rent an apartment, or they can't buy transportation because of their credit. And that's just a way to hold people in bondage. Like, oh, we're going to put it on your credit.
Yeah. It is. It is. It's like a bondage. It is. It is. Let me ask you another question. How do you remove like a tax lien or a bankruptcy? I have a lot of people that have, had to file bankruptcy and stuff like that. So they want to know how can they get the bankruptcy? How can they recover after a bankruptcy? Now, I say this. Now, Donald Trump, he has filed bankruptcy several times, and it seems like he's come back even better. So
Yeah.
give our listeners,
Mhm.
some knowledge on that. How does he come back better after
Yeah.
bankruptcy?
Well, I mean, the difference with Donald Trump is like he's leveraging like corporate debt. He's not filing
Okay.
bankrupt on his personal name. So
Oh, okay.
basically, he's playing with paper, so to speak, and that's what I mean by poor people need to learn how to leverage debt. But you asked the question of how you remove a bankruptcy or a tax lien.
Mhm.
Man, I'm more than excited to tell people how to do that. And like I said, if you don't believe me, anything that I tell you, I can back it up. I can show you. It's not something that I read somewhere or somebody told me. I've done it. I have the proof.
Yeah.
The first thing that people need to realize more than anything, the bankruptcy court, the register of deeds, they do not report to the credit bureaus, period. What they
Mm-mm.
do is that they pick up public records. How you combat a tax lien and a bankruptcy, this is what you need to do. When you get your credit report and you see you see a tax lien on there, you create your own affidavit, however you want to write it up. It can be a paragraph. You get it notarized, and you send that certified to the Register of Deeds office in whatever county that you live in. And in that letter, you state that, hey, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian stated that someone in your office verified that I have a tax lien, and they did it via phone, email, or fax. Now, because you have sent in a certified, an affidavit via certified mail to the Register of Deeds office, they're going to respond to you. When they respond to you, this is what they're going to say. They're going to tell you, we do not report to any credit reporting agency via phone, email, or fax. Furthermore, the only way that a tax lien can be verified is via a title search. What does that mean? That means we know the credit bureaus are not conducting title searches.
Uh-huh.
So you take that letter that you receive from the Register of Deeds office, then you attach that to another affidavit. And I don't mean just typing up some generic letter, signing it at the bottom, and putting it in the mail. You do an affidavit. You notarize. You handwrite in certain sections, whether it be your social security number or your date of birth. And you send all of that via certified mail to the credit bureaus, and you let them know, hey, this is the source that you say you verified this tax lien with. I need to see verifiable proof. You send that notarized affidavit into them, I can guarantee you the next piece of mail that you get, your tax lien will be deleted. It works the same way with bankruptcy. They're public records. Like, a lot of people don't even realize, like, I could do a loan with you. I could say, hey, I'm loaning Shay Renee $40,000. We can do a promissory note. I could file a financing statement with the Secretary of State, whether it be in Tennessee, New York, California. That becomes a public record. That becomes a public record. That will end up on your credit. But the difference is I can come back and do an amendment to that financing statement 3 months later and say that you have paid that debt off. Now you have a positive public record reporting on your credit file. But it works the same way. You can come back and dispute that positive trade that's on your credit. But it's really that simple when it comes to removing a public record or a tax lien. People just don't realize that, they don't take that extra step where they're so beat up and depressed over their financial state or the way their credit is looking. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's really that simple. I mean, it may be simple to me, and it may not be simple to someone that's listening. So
Yeah, but you're the expert, so. You're the expert. Because, I mean, now, as you're revealing this information, too, and I'm going to take a caller because we've got a caller, but before I take the caller, I want to say this. As you're revealing this information, it's like, okay, because we don't know about the conspiracy of credit, then we get tied into these rent-to-own places and buy here, pay here, and payday loans and all of this stuff. We get kind of caught up in it, and it's like you get a halfway decent car, but you're paying like for a brand new car for this buy here, pay here place, and you're saying that you don't even have to. If you take these steps and if you connect with me, I can show you how you can live the life you desire to live.
Yeah, I mean, people, there's a reason why people are fascinated with famous people or wealthy people. There's a reason why you feel that way. There's a reason why when you see a Lamborghini or a Bentley or say some nice car, there's something inside of people that it makes them feel a certain way. There's a reason, because you're supposed to have that. You have a way to obtain those things, but it goes back to how, we were even, educated. Like there's something that's placing us to believe like this is the way that it's supposed to be, the way that your mind is thinking, but your spirit is telling you something different. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Let me take a couple of callers. Okay.
All right.
Caller, you're on the air with Shay and Corey. You have a question? Hello, caller.
Hello.
Yes. You have a question?
Yeah, I was calling. Hey, what's up, Corey? How you doing, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, man, it's Durham, man. I just hit you on Facebook, man. Call me, man.
Okay.
How you doing, man? What long time no here?
Say again.
Do you have a...
Yeah.
Do you have a question?
Yeah. I just wanted to call in because I had a singular thing on his Facebook about you gonna be on, and I just wanted to co-sign and let you know that he told. I mean, he on it.
Okay.
You want to listen to him because the credit bureau, they making billions off people with bad credit, and they don't want you to know the things they are doing. And see, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion are private entities, and they making billions from companies who report negative information. They don't want you actually to have good credit.
Right.
Yeah. So you're vouching that he can help you get your credit right.
Oh, absolutely, man. I know him personally.
Okay. All right.
Well, I'll let me, man. I'll be looking for your call.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you for your call.
All right.
All right. We'll take another caller. Caller, you're on the air with Shay and Corey. You have a question? Okay. Maybe they don't have a question. Okay. Well, call back in, okay? We couldn't hear you. Okay, so call back in. Okay. And so I want to ask you this, too, because I have been guilty of this because of, commercials telling you, they scare you with identity theft and different things like that. So I have been a victim of this, and I need to find out why you should never pay for a credit monitoring service.
Well, first of all, I mean, think about it. Think about this. They have turned identity theft into a business. It's like with anything. If you put enough propaganda in the media and you keep putting it in people's face, it stirs up fear, it can stir up curiosity. It can do a number of things. But when it comes to identity theft, if you take a company like Equifax, And if I can get 10 million people to pay me $10 a month to monitor their credit, that's a whole new revenue stream. That means that's a new revenue stream that I have created. But at the same time, I don't let people know this is something that you can get for free. You can put a statement on your credit report for free saying, do not extend credit unless you speak to me, or you can put a freeze on your credit report. But they have turned it into a business. Like you have companies like LifeLock.
Yeah.
And the guy who owns LifeLock, this guy has filed identity theft 13 times. But he's telling you that he can protect your credit. And the only thing that he's doing, he's playing the middleman between you and the credit bureaus and the banks. But he's doing something that you can do for free. You can monitor your own credit for free. You can put a statement on your credit report for free. They say you can say, do not extend credit to anyone unless you verbally speak to me. Call this number. That doesn't cost you a dime. But, I mean, they have turned it into a business, and they have put enough propaganda in the media to, truly some people are victims of identity theft. But federal law states that you're not required to pay no more than $50, even if someone has ran up $100,000 in your name. You're not responsible for that $100,000. You only, and then almost all creditors have what's called zero liability insurance. That means it's insured anyway. So they're not going to lose. I mean, you really have to think about that. Like, a business is not going to give someone money without thinking about the repercussions if that person doesn't pay their money back. So, I mean, that's the reason why people should not pay for all this LifeLock and my free credit report, and it's nothing more than a revenue stream for the credit bureaus, and people are buying into it. Monitor your own credit. Don't pay them.
Wow.
So that's the reason why.
Yeah, you're blowing my mind. You are blowing my mind. And so you can just put a statement on your credit, and if somebody tries to put something in your name and you said, call me, then they have to call you. And you can save that money.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you can do that. You can put a consumer statement on your credit report. It's just that simple. And that becomes your credit watch for free.
Wow. Wow. Okay, guys, I'm going to give you that number again, 917-889-8224. Call in with your questions. Guys, for you in the chat room, chat in your questions, okay? We've got an expert here. So whatever you've been wanting to know about credit, hey, it's the perfect time to find out, okay? Now, let's see, we already talked about selling the credit card debt. What else can you tell our listeners about the conspiracy of credit? And also, don't forget to tell us about where we can get your book.
Yeah, you can get the book anywhere. You can walk in a Barnes & Noble. You can get it on Amazon, iTunes, Kindle. It's everywhere. You can get it anywhere. You know what I mean? So Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, Book, Smashwords. It's pretty much everywhere. So the main thing that I would like to say to anybody that's listening, a lot of times people want to pay to have their credit repaired, or they want to put the burden on someone else. The thing that I started to realize over time with me trying to help people, one person can become overwhelmed. So I discovered, like, if I provide the information to people and they have enough pressure on them, but they also have enough passion to get out of their situation, they'll dive into it like I did. Because you truly can change your situation with credit. This credit system is, like I said, it's here for a reason, but a lot of people just don't know how to utilize it. And now what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to revolutionize how people look at credit, how they utilize it. I'm not coming to you like I'm a Susan Norman or a Dave Ramsey. I'm going to give you what's real. I'm going to tell you this is how you take off a tax lien. I'm going to tell you this is how you take off a bankruptcy. This is why you shouldn't pay that collection agency. This is why you shouldn't settle that credit card debt. But people need to learn how to leverage what they have, even if you take a community of people. And what I mean, if it's 3 people, if it's 4 people, and you guys create a community of credit, and what I mean by that is you duplicate yourselves through each other. You go create you do something like, even if it's you creating your own small corporation, and all of you guys work to improve your credit, and you back that corporation, and you find those banks that's going to loan you money for you to do other things to better your life. Because people have to realize, like, the war is not on the rich, it's on the poor. It's truly on the poor. Like, the United States is one of the richest countries in the world. But if you study what's called the Gini Index, the income level between the rich and the poor is one of the greatest in the world. It's the widest in the world. And that's by design. And they using credit as a tool to keep us in bondage. And I'm not trying to live my life in bondage. And if I can provide the information to help other people change their life, then that's what I'm ready to do. And I'm not afraid to do that. And anybody that want to step up to discount anything that I'm saying, I got the proof. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not like I said. The first question I ask is, who showed you? Who told you? Because I did it. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
Now
so,
we have a question in the chat room.
Okay.
It says, what about companies like Lexington Law Firm? Are they just to take your money as well?
Yeah, they garbage. I mean, you can dispute anything and roll the dice and hope that it comes off. It might come off, it may not come off. But every time you do that, you roll the dice with like a bankruptcy or a tax lien, there's no guarantee that it's going to come off. I'm going to teach you ways to almost guarantee that it's going to come off. Like even with when you're dealing with a collection agency, file a complaint with the Better Business Bureau against them. File a complaint with Consumer Affairs in whatever state that you live in. Make them back up because they don't want that. They're a business. So they don't want no bad BBB rating because they go to banks. They try to get loans. You have to use all of those tools against them. File those complaints against them. And one of the major tools or weapons that people can use now is something that they created, the Consumer Bureau or Financial Protection. They are the ones that police the credit bureaus now. It was established in 2011, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. You have to use all of those weapons to fight with because the companies that are trying to get money from you, they don't care about how you living, how you eating, how you feeding your kids, how you getting to work. So you just going to bow down and give them your last. I don't care how much you love somebody. Think about it. You're not going to give them your last if you're trying to survive. It could be your mama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, so
Mhm.
I mean that's my mission, like to give people real information. I'm a pirate when it comes to
Yes.
dealing with the credit bureau.
I see. Okay, we got a caller. Let's take a caller. Caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, hey, how you doing?
Corey. Hi, doing good. You got a question?
Yeah, I had a collection on my credit, and the credit bureaus keep saying that they keep verifying it and they will not take it off. So I want to ask Mr. Corey, since he's the expert on this, how would I get that off?
You attack the collection agency. Don't deal with the credit bureaus anymore. Attack the collection agency. Like what is the what is the debt for? Is it a credit card debt?
It's a medical bill.
Those are some of the easiest ones. What you do, you attack the collection agency. Have they sent you what information have you sent them? Have you just sent them a basic generic letter saying, hey, this does not belong to me?
Yeah, I sent them identity. I let the credit bureaus know that I was a victim of identity theft. And even after I did that, the collection agency people were very rude, and they said that they verified it, and they said they was going to send out some kind of fraud. I had to call their fraud department and fill out some kind of paperwork. So, they wanted me to jump through hoops, and I'm like, look, I've been a victim. I've been victimized. How can I get some help?
Did you file a police report?
No, is that what I need to do?
You need to file a police report. When you go file the police report, make sure that in their report it has the account numbers. Okay. Whatever that debt is, make sure that it has the account numbers. And even if you go file a police report and they want to give you resistance, when you get to the police department, you ask to see a lieutenant because by law they got to take your report. You just need to maybe have a copy of your credit report or something like that in hand if they ask. But they got to take your report. I know a lot of times I've heard when people go in, they be like, well, they didn't want to take my report. And you need to ask for a lieutenant or somebody because you've been a victim. Once you got that police report in hand, you send that back to the collection agency. But remember what I said. In the process of you doing that, you file a complaint with the Better Business Bureau. You file a complaint with Consumer Affairs. You live in the state of Tennessee?
Yes, I do.
File a complaint with those two agencies. You also file a complaint with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. I guarantee you, brother, they're going to back up. When they send you that letter saying we will contact all three of the major credit bureaus and letting them know to delete this, then that's when you go back at the credit bureaus. And when they send you a response back saying, no, we verified it, you present your letter saying from the collection agency. They will, if you do those things, I guarantee you they will take it off. Because if you go file a police report and they don't take it off, that's willful non-compliance. Okay. So now you got a small claims. More than a small claims. You got a civil matter that you can take to court, but you cannot be afraid to go to court. You cannot be afraid to challenge them if you got all of their paperwork in hand.
Okay,
but I guarantee you that'll work.
Now let me ask you this: where is the Consumer Affairs? You said file a complaint with them. Is that online, or how do I get it?
It's online. Consumer Affairs in the state of Tennessee. It's online. All collection agencies have to register with whatever state they practice in. They have to register with Insurance and Commerce in their state to collect in their state.
Okay.
So you file a complaint with them. I guarantee you, I'm 110% sure you'll get that removed. They'll back up.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try that, Mr. Corey, and I appreciate your time and I appreciate you answering the question.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your call. All right. We got another caller, too. Let's take this caller. Caller, you're on the air with Shay and Corey.
Hey, Corey.
You have a question?
Hey.
Yeah, I was calling about a judgment that we've been wrestling with, and it's been hard to get it off. So I just
What is
the
judgment? Is it an apartment? What type of judgment?
finance company.
A finance case. What you need to do? If you don't know how to create an affidavit, it's as simple as this. You create a letter, and what you're asking the credit bureau to do is provide verifiable proof, meaning you want to see the documentation from the public record. You want to handwrite that. You don't want to type it. You want to handwrite it, but you want to take it to a notary and get it notarized.
Okay.
And then you want to send that to the credit bureaus via certified mail.
Okay.
That right there will work because they're not going to be able to provide like verifiable proof because remember, it's a public record. So they pick public records up through PACER system, or some attorneys buy what's called crystal clears and they sell it, or a lot of times they pick it up from these marketing companies that pick up public record information. So if you, I don't know if you understand exactly what I mean by using an affidavit as opposed to a regular letter. Do you understand exactly what I'm saying?
I'm understanding what getting an affidavit, getting notarized.
Right. Do it. You can create it yourself and get it notarized. Turn everything into a sworn statement because you're building your paperwork.
Okay.
Okay.
And handwrite the letter.
Yeah, you can type some of it, and you can handwrite some of it. Handwrite the account that you're trying to dispute, the public record that you're trying to dispute. Handwrite your social, handwrite your date of birth, and always include a copy of your driver's license and your social security card. But make sure whatever address is on your driver's license, that's the same address that the credit bureaus have on file.
Well,
so
see,
they'll
I
kick it out.
I did that, and at the time, I did the police report and all that.
Right.
And my address didn't change, and I spoke with experience, and they said that the address that they have on my credit report matches up with my old information. My driver license number on my new license, since I've moved, matches up with my old address, and they wasn't able to remove the judgment because the judgment was attached to the address.
Right. You mean the judgment was attached to the old address?
Right. And so since I sent my new paperwork with my new license, they said, well, your license number is the same on your old license as well as your new license.
Right. Now, the mistake that you made, don't just send them an affidavit. Get it notarized. Then once you do that, keep a copy of the affidavit. Now, when you're dealing with the credit bureaus, you want to file a complaint with the Consumer Financial Protection Agency. And you want them to they're online. You have to go online to do that.
Okay.
You want to file a complaint with them, outline what is taking place. Now, they have been real good about making the credit bureaus comply. They have been real good about that.
Okay. Consumer Financial Protection Agency.
Right.
Okay, appreciate it.
All right.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, that was a good show.
Yeah. I wish I had,
that was
I had more time.
A good show. I know. I wish we had more time because the calls are coming in. I'm going to have to bring you back. I'm going to have to bring you back. I'm definitely going to have to bring you back. Okay. So get out any of your contact information, repeat how you can get your book again, and any final words you have.
You know what? I'll say that I could be reached at Corey at CoreyPSmith.com, or you can email me at info@CoreyPSmith.com. You can go to my website, www.CoreyPSmith.com, or you can go to www.conspiracyofcredit.com. You can reach me that way. My book, like I said, can be purchased at Barnes & Noble, whether you want to go online or if it's better for you to walk in the store and purchase the book. It's available through Amazon, iTunes, audiobooks, all the online retailers. And I guess the last thing that I would have to say is just realize that you can always borrow $1 million faster than you can make it on working a job. That's the power of credit. If you can truly put that statement in perspective, that tells you how strong credit is. It would take you 20 years if you was making $50,000 a year, untaxable. It would take you 20 years to make $1 million. You can borrow $1 million in 6 months if you have the blueprint to knowing how to utilize your credit. And I know that because I've done it. So that's the power of credit. If I could take a homeless guy and give him a 750 credit score, anybody that's listening, you can do it. But you got to be willing to do it. You got to be willing to do it. That's it. Those are my final words.
All right. I loved it. You can borrow $1 million, or you can work 20 years for $1 million. So I love it. And I want to thank you for educating us all. And thank you for taking out time. I know you're busy, you travel a lot, so I definitely appreciate you taking out this time. And so thank you.
I appreciate you for having me.
All right, okay. Guys. Well, there you have it. All about credit and the conspiracy of credit. Guys, this was very, very informative. And this has been another episode of Shay, Renee, and Friends. Make sure you tune in every Tuesday night at our new time, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Answering your questions here live every Tuesday night. It's real issues, real people, and real conversation. All right? The show for the people with Shay, Renee, and Friends. And so until next time, much love and true happiness. And make sure you remember, it's your time. It's our time. It's our children's time.
Hey. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. It's my time to rise. It's my time to shine. It's my time to live. It's my time to fly. It's my time. It's my time.
It's Shay, Renee, and Friends. Real people dealing with real issues, talking about real life.
When your customers call, the last thing you want them to hear is this.
Please hold. Your call is important to us.
Introducing OneTalk from Verizon. Now your desk phone and smartphone can work together on one number, so customers can find you wherever work takes you. And you can put your customers first, not on hold. Click the banner to learn more about OneTalk and see why more small businesses choose Verizon. Because in business, better matters. OneTalk capable desk phone must be purchased from Verizon to support some of these features. Results based on third-party study. When your customers call, the last thing you want them to hear is this.
Please hold. Your call is important to us.
Introducing OneTalk from Verizon. Now your desk phone and smartphone can work together on one number, so customers can find you wherever work takes you. And you can put your customers first, not on hold. Click the banner to learn more about OneTalk and see why more small businesses choose Verizon. Because in business, better matters. OneTalk capable desk phone must be purchased from Verizon to support some of these features. Results based on third-party study.